Welcome. It's December the 20th, 2000. What year is it? 2021? All right. It's been a minute since I've been live. Happy holidays to everyone joining us. Happy holidays to the folks out there. It's been about a month since I've been live. So, welcome. Congratulations to my Miami Dolphins. 6 games in a row. We're going to be starting in a couple minutes here. I know it's been a while, and so people have not expecting me to come on live. And so we're going to let the YouTube do its thing and send it out to all of the folks out there to let them know we are broadcasting live. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Leave your name. Let us know where you're from, who's in the chat today visiting. Happy holidays. What's going on, my man? Q, how are you? Thanks for signing up. Thanks for coming in today. Yeah, it's been a minute. Maria Martinez with the virtual hug. Let's see who we got on here tonight. Let me know where you're calling from. Let me know your industry. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your business. All right, Quanisha from Dallas, freight brokerage, first time catching me live. Good stuff. Welcome. Tell us your industry. Tell us where you're at. Tell me your city and tell me your industry. And if your name is not up there, tell me your name so I can know. Yeah, I haven't actually, Quanisha, I haven't been live the entire month of November. I skipped out and pretty much all of December, right? Because it's 20 days in December. So I haven't been live in nearly 2 months. But we were working on a lot of good stuff, working on 3.0, onboarding students, working on new courses, new programs for folks out there, just learning, grinding, putting all the stuff that I've got in my brain, putting it to paper, just doing a lot of stuff in the background to help further the movement, further all of the wonderful things that we want to do, all of the programs that we want to create to support all of you small businesses out there, all the micro businesses, the single person entities, the truck drivers. We're just wanting to support everyone. So we've just really been just putting things down on paper, my ideas, my thoughts, and creating programs that could support folks. So again, let me know who's out here. Let me know who I'm talking to today. And let me know where you're from. I see my man Bronde's in the building, New Orleans janitorial. All right. Do what he did. Let us know. That's the kind of information I want to hear. Shirley, welcome. From Oklahoma. Shirley, what is it that you do? Tell me a little bit about your business. All right. Mickey Shea, Michelle, freight brokerage, logistics, dispatching. All right. What else we got here? When I see your name, I think about Airbnb. I don't know if that was your intention. Neekland, oilfield dispatcher. QY. I like that. I appreciate you and your team for doing this. It's really brought things in perspective. Yeah, we are, like I said, it's not just me. There's 13 people behind the scenes working every day on this. And speaking of that, our marketing team is actually out of the Philippines. We'd like for folks to acknowledge that our marketing team, they did suffer from a recent super typhoon that hit the country of the Philippines. And so a lot of people without power, without electricity. So we're praying for our folks over in the Philippines that those things can be restored. All right, Donnie's Car, Cincinnati, Ohio, financial broker, health, life, dental, vision, and business loans. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome today. Welcome. Who else do we have? My man Don from San Diego, new student at GovCon, owner of Sway Collective and promotional product business, and just started. Bulldog Group LLC and construction material supply. I'm glad, Don, that you are a new student. And we got a lot of stuff to cover today. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the new programs that we have ongoing that's out there for folks. And like I said, if you want me to give you a shout out, drop your information here. I'll put you on the big screen. Tell people about yourself. This is always a networking event. We're going to start this back up in January. I'm going to come back and start doing 4 or 5 live sessions a week. So while Omicron, Delta, and all these other COVID variances are keeping people home and away from each other, this is one way we can get together and talk about our business. Plug yourself. Don't be afraid. I'm here to support, to help, to enable, to encourage, to motivate. I'm standing behind you. So if you don't have a cheerleader at home and your spouse and your family, you've got one right here in me and our group. So we're going to be your biggest cheerleaders. A lot of folks in our Tuesday member only calls say all the time that they cannot share the success. They can't share their stories with folks. And so we want to be there to be able to listen when you make that first phone call, when you speak to that first government agency, when the person gives you that first award, or even if they call you back and maybe give you your first RFP or solicitation. We want to be there to support you. So keep plugging it in. All right, food management certification and Hartwell Academy. All right. Ernest from North Carolina, started my business in trading in metals, but learned government does not buy metals, but sells it. Yeah, and Alan, thank you for putting that up. That's a good point. When you're coming into this space, you may have your specific industry that you do or your business, but you got to make sure that the government buys what you sell. And I always tell folks who are new to this, you can't just push your ideas and your products off on the government. So I always tell people, make sure the government buys what you sell first and foremost. And one of the ways that I always encourage people to do that is by visiting FPDS here and really just digging around with your NAICS codes and this website to determine if the government in fact buys what you sell. And that's the best indicator of whether or not either this is a market for you, or if you need to change markets, because they do buy a lot of stuff, but like you said, metals, that's a little bit rare. And so I've had some people say some other different ideas that you got to think about what the government uses on a regular basis. And so things like metals, I don't see how they could use that in a raw material format. Now, if you took that metal and created a bolt, a screw, a nut, a handle with it, then you'd probably buy it. Yes, like Maria said, make sure you hit the like button. We are starting up again. My man, Yusuf. All right. Joey, Philadelphia trucker. Sweet. So yeah, make sure you hit the like button as well. That helps us with getting promoted in terms of the YouTube guides. My man Kazar says, cleaning out of Detroit, Michigan, creating consulting foundation, all help accepted from members. Good stuff. Need a phone call info. All right. Brian Jefferson, I just got registered, but I literally don't know where to start. I do not have a specific industry, and I want to master subcontract and middleman strategy. Great, Brian. And again, we could talk about that today. I have no problem with that. I did want to go over some things that we've been working on in the background. But listen, as you're coming on, make sure to keep putting your information in there. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you do as you're coming on. I did want to go over some new things and that we've been working on. If you have not already visited this page, I want you to take a look. This is our courses page. A lot of people may not know about this, especially the new people. It's govconedu.courses is our courses page. And that will take you here, and it tells you about all the different programs we have, our coaching programs that we've created, and then our various courses that we have as well. And we are working on 3.0. We do have a free course for folks. So like my man who said they were brand new, they don't know where to start. Here's a free course that you can start with. We always encourage people. I like you to go through the steps and the levels. So if you are new to this and you're not sure where to start, the free course is always a great place to start. 3.0 is not out yet. So I've had some people say, Eric, is this out? No, and it's not $10,000. We are working on this 3.0, which is going to be a bundle program, but it's not currently released. We are still finishing up the 3.0 bundle as we speak. So that's not out as of now. However, I do want to talk about the program POW today. I want to start the conversation discussing this new program that we have, because we just actually launched this program around Thanksgiving privately, and we sent out the first email on our email list to folks about it. We have a new program called PAL, and PAL stands for Partnerships, Access, and Lifeline. And this is my version of an inner circle program. And you can visit here. I'll drop the link in the chat for folks to visit. But if you go to the courses page, you'll be able to see it there on the courses page as well. But this is the program, and Maria put up in the link. If you just go here, govconedu.com courses, you'll be able to reach the PAL program, and you'll be able to find it. And this tells you all about the new program that we call PAL. And what's different about this program than anything else that we've done so far is that this is not a course. This is not a course. This is not a course. Say it with me. This is not a course. What this is a program that we've created. And by the way, if we don't know you, right? See, this says, if I don't know you, please give me your information so that we can consider you for this program. All right. But this is not a course. This is my inner circle program where we are actually working with students and we are helping them do deals, right? So we're working with podcast guests and also other students that are already successful, that are already winning contracts. And we are literally only discussing deals, contracts, opportunities on the table. So this is not for everyone, and it's an exclusive program. So again, it's not about just accepting people's money. We want people who have experience, who've actually done some contract work, right? So whether it was state, local, or federal, you have to have done some contracts at least in the past, so you know what you're getting into. And this program specifically, we're going to talk about doing deals. So if that's something that might make sense for you, definitely visit the website, govconedu.com/courses, to find out more about this program. And again, as always, you can reach out to us. Our phone number, let me put it on the screen right here. And the reason why you can call that number 786-477-0477 to find out more about this program. And it's so the reason why we created this program, and you'll see there's a series of 3 videos on there, is we wanted to give people who were a little bit more advanced and was already had the understanding of what it took to do a contract. We wanted to give them an opportunity to be in a group of other successful business owners who are also winning contracts. And so that way, if you're at $1 million, I want to take you to 2 million. If you're at 2 million, I want to take you to 5. If you're at 5, I want to take you to 7. And so we have people of varying degrees of millions of dollars in terms of revenue and success that we want to then take them to the next phase. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, visit our website, govconedu.com/courses, and you should be able to find on there the PAL program. And then you can submit your information, and we're going to have a 2-step interview process where we will consider you for the program. Because it is an exclusive group, we definitely don't want to let just anybody in there. We want to make sure that you're a good fit. So we want to make sure you're a good person. That's first and foremost. We want to make sure that you're compatible with the group. We already have students in the program now. And we want to make sure that you're a person of upstanding character, believe it or not. A lot of people have made their money in shady ways, and that's not the folks we're looking to do business with. So I just want to come on and kind of share that and talk through it and take questions for folks out there about this program and also about any other things that we have created. So if you're just joining us, there's now 23 people watching. Make sure first and foremost, hit the like button, hit thumbs up. Secondly, tell us who you are, your city that you're operating out of, and tell me your business, and I'll put you on the screen. And then thirdly, make sure to participate, because you're only going to get out of this what you put into it. So if you sit there and you observe and you don't ask questions and you don't participate, then when you leave here today, you might not get your questions answered. So we want to definitely come on today and talk about the different programs that we have and where it might make sense, and also help people answer questions. I know, like I said, it's been almost 2 months since I've been live. I do want to get back to the live format. I enjoy talking to all of you out there. I really do. Go Dolphins, fins up, by the way. 6-game winning streak, baby, from 1-7 to 7-7. We're now in contention if you're a football fan. But nevertheless, happy holidays for people that are just coming on. And let's get into it today. Aloha from Maui. All right. Let me take some questions. Let me take some questions. 1 second. Let me put this back up on the screen. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Ba-bum, ba-bum. All right. Like Maria said, tell me who you are, what your industry is, and where you're located. My man, the giant Hawaiians here. Okay. What's going on, B. Collier? How are you today? All right. My man said, E. Allen says, Eric, although I have decided to try selling other items to the government. I started submitting bids on Unison, but I found it to be difficult to win bids. Any suggestions? Yeah, I- Unison is a marketplace that is easy to do, right? And so because it's easy, it's also easy for other people. And because it's easy for everyone, it makes it really competitive and it makes it really hard to itch out numbers and be able to make money successfully over time. You're not really distinguishing yourself from the next person or from any person that is because all they're doing is looking for the lowest bidder. So I really don't encourage folks to use Unison. It's not something that I promote. Yes, I have mentioned in my videos that it exists because it does exist and it's a marketplace out there. But really, when you're not uh, providing anything substantive, you're not providing anything of real value, then it makes it difficult for you to have a competitive edge. And so for me, E. Allen, I know that while Unison seems like it's almost like Amazon selling that you can do from the comfort of your home, you really got to get from behind your desk and get out there and talk to folks. Uh, y- you know, What's interesting is that Maria was at a conference recently. She was at a Christmas party for the SAMI conference, and only 8 people or 10 people showed up. I was at a conference out in Sacramento, and maybe less than 50 people showed up. So there was opportunities there with people who were looking for small businesses to help, but no one showed up. And so my advice would be rather than spending your time on Unison, I would find a event that was nearby me that I can attend, that was low cost, right? And I could participate. I would look at joining an organization or association where you can go in and be part of the conversation. Because when you're part of the conversation with decision makers, whether they are people who are selling to the government or whether they're government folks, then you can start to find a niche for yourself. A lot of times people say, well, Eric, how do I find a niche? Well, you go talk to people and find out where's their itch, and you scratch it really. So it's hard to do that from behind a computer. It's hard to do that without actually shaking hands and kissing babies. So I always encourage people to get out of their comfort zone, put on your Sunday best, go to one of these events, show up, be present. Don't just stand in the corner. Be present and actively work the room. Even if you're an introvert, I oftentimes consider myself an introvert because, believe it or not, while I'm really good out in public with people, I really much prefer to be in my house by myself. And so, the majority of my time I spend by myself, not out in the world in front of a whole bunch of people. And I find that a lot of artists are that way. So, even though you may consider yourself an introvert, really consider it as an investment in your future and building your business and being able to create your dream lifestyle. So that's what I would say to that. And by the way, E. Allen, stay here because this person just said something which does make a lot of sense. Carter says DIBBS is not as competitive due to the user interface. And I would agree with that 1000%. Um, so if you're right, Carter, thank you for pointing that out. Unison and DIBBS are very similar in nature, but because DIBBS is a pain in the butt to navigate, a lot of people don't go through it. So because Unison is so easy and like flows, it's got a nice GUI interface, and DIBBS is like a 1980s interface. A lot of people have a challenge with DIBBS, and so they just give up. And Carter OK is right. We have one of our students who literally, I'll pull him up on the screen, who he did 94 transactions last year using DIBBS, and nothing's through. So that actually makes sense. Uh, And thank you, Carr, for pointing that out because really that is the truth. Yeah, see, no one knows how to use DIBBS, but that's what makes it right. That's what Carter OK just said. Because of that, that's why it's a much easier work for him. So hey, make sure all 23 people give me a thumbs up, hit the like button as we're joining. We're talking about the different programs that we have and answering questions in the GovCon space. Happy holidays to you that are just joining us. Let us know what city you're in. Let me know your business, your industry, so we can help you out. And if you want to learn about DIBBS and want to see a success story that we have right here, da, 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 right here, actually, I'm going to pull them up on the screen. All right, there's an interview that Maria did with one of our students, Mike. How can you build a product-based business in the aviation industry? And so what's interesting is that only 700 people watched it, but everyone asked me these questions about building product-based businesses. So people say, Eric, you're always talking about consulting. That's not true. Here is a video that we did on how to build a product-based business, right? He just happened to choose the aviation industry. But he used the website DIBBS, and they were bidding like every week or every month. They're bidding all these opportunities, and he ended up winning 94 contracts, 94 successfully on DIBBS, and they did about $1 million in sales and were extremely profitable. So watch this video. I'll drop the link in the chat for folks out there. Watch that video if you're interested in building a product-based business using DIBBS. So I just don't have a lot of success stories from Unison, but hold on. I don't have a lot of success stories from Unison, but on DIBBS, here's one right here that Maria did. Look, Carter says, I love DIBBS, looking for verified resources now. You know, another thing about DIBBS that I like actually is with the DIBBS program, believe it or not, DIBBS, because it's ran by DLA, you can actually, so Carter, I'm glad you bring this up. This is a really good. With the DIBBS program, you can actually sole source contracts using DIBBS, believe it or not. So if you find a verified resources, if you start finding OEMs that you can work for, Carter, you can actually run them through an 8A company and have the government sole source you certain NSN numbers. So that's really interesting. But Unison is just a bid board. So it's really not very attractive for me, for a lot of people out there. What else you guys got going on out there in the world of government contracting? Make sure to visit our new page, govconedu.com courses. What else you got going on? You're welcome, E. Allen. My man, John Hawaiian said, pain is my game. All right. AG and Trucking, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Talk to me. What questions do you have today? Look at that. Carter, there's training. That's right. Listen, we actually, Kazar, we have in I know our 2.0 courses closed, our 1.0 courses closed, but we do have training on DIBBS inside of the 2.0 course. Kazar, if you reach out to Maria, she can make it available to you. All right. I know who you are. So reach out to Maria and she can make the DIBBS training available to you. Because Maria actually did speak with the what do you call it? The small business specialist for DLA. And so that person gave us the training for how to use the program on DIBBS. So definitely reach out to Maria and she can make that available to you. What else? 24 people watching. Let's go. Make sure to hit the like button. All 27 of you hit the like button. Let's get it today. Happy holidays. Welcome. Tell me who you are, what you're up to. Tell me your city, your state. I mean, look, guys, I've been on 2 months. You got to be like thirsting for information. We've got some great podcast guests coming up. We've got some great podcast guests that we've released. Have anybody seen any of our new podcasts? Hello, does a contract business need VAX papers to access government facilities? Thanks for the info. Great question, Jonathan. the vaccination date has been pushed back to next year. So as of now, the vaccine mandates have been pushed back. So currently, they are not required as of now. They have been pushed back. So you're good for now on the vaccine mandate. What's going to happen? Hold on. Let me pull it up on the thing. Good question. Um, but the date has been pushed back. So I think it's where's it at? Da, 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 da. It's sometime next year. I don't have it in front of me right now. I'll look for it, but it's sometime for next year. So you can still operate without having your employees vaccinated. So you're good. And I'd be honest with you, Jonathan. The way it's going, it looks like they keep pushing that thing back. So I think it's going to be fine. All right. Dun, dun, dun. What's Maria's email? Maria email is maria@govcongiants.com. I'll drop it in here. There's Maria's email. Ant Pro, Miami. Angela Law, New York, looking for hemp contracts and private aviation contracts. Um, I heard that the government is experimenting with hemp. Um, and in terms of private aviation, I've actually helped people in the past with private aviation contracts. The problem with the aviation contracts is the government wanted to buy directly from people who had their own planes. So you couldn't be a broker brokering the private aviation contract. So when I tried to help a company in the past, the part of the requirements with the aviation stuff was, in fact, that you had to have your own planes. So unless you have your own planes, the private aviation contracts are probably out for you. And on the hemp side, it's like everything else. You got to do your research and dig around. I have not looked for hemp contracts, but I have been told they use it for research. And so, again, like everything else, have you tried visiting SAM to see what they have on there for hemp and what are they calling it? Because I'm sure there's some kind of name they have for it in the government space. I just don't know what it is. But as always, I would say do your research. All right, QY. I spoke to procurement office in my city today. If I find a supplier for what they need, can I include transportation costs in my bid? Absolutely. In fact, QI, you have to include the transportation costs in your bid because how are you going to get it there? Listen, for everyone out here watching, the government does not expect you to lose money on these things. The government does not expect you to lose money. The government wants you to be successful. They want you to make money. So if you don't account for these costs, that means you're going to eat the cost. That means that you're the one that's going to be on the other end of that deal. So make sure QI that you absolutely include transportation and not just transportation. When you're looking at transportation, if you have to deliver something to a government facility and the truck is going to get stopped at the gate and the truck has to go through a search, that may be 4 hours, maybe it's 2 hours. I don't know what that is, but that's part of the protocol that you've got to ask because we've had projects where the driver had to be verified and checked, and the truck had to be searched. They had to do a sweep of the truck, and sometimes they're sitting out there for 2 hours or more. So maybe the driver might charge you for a half a day, even though, right, they only deliver the product like maybe across the city. So you need to figure that out and make sure that you include that in your quotation. Absolutely. RS Floyd. Hi, Eric. We're a medical supply company with access to millions of OTC COVID tests, not finding those RFQs except out there, but I know they need them. Um, so a lot of times what happens is the the government and I've said this in the past, but this is thank you, RS Floyd, first of all, foremost for your question. This is a great question. So what happens, and this applies to everyone. So what happens if you don't see your RFQs out there? Does anybody know what's happening? So if the government is buying your services or buying your products, but you don't see them posting it, what's happening? So there's a couple things that could be happening, RS Floyd. One thing that could be happening is that they have already solicited uh, a pool of vendors to provide these items. And so what they could have done is put that in some sort of vehicle, like a BPA or a IDIQ or a MAC or a MATOC, some sort of multi-year contract where they call it IDVs, indefinite delivery vehicles. They could have already put that into a multi-year contract and solicited pre-qualified vendors to provide those test kits. And because we've been using test kits for the last 2 years now, we're second year COVID, going to the third year. They could have already solicited 4 or 5 major distributors to provide those test kits for the next 2 years. And so that's why you're not seeing ongoing RFPs or RFQs for them because they've already got their vendor pool. That's one thing that could be happening. And that's probably the most likely scenario that you're experiencing is that they've already got their vendor pools solicited and pre-qualified to provide these type of test kits. So what I would do is when I'm reaching out to the people who actually use test kits, so I always tell people go backwards, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. So again, if you go in, right, and I'll pull it up on the screen, there's you guys have no idea. Um, my 2 favorite websites in the world for government are here, USA Spending and FPDS. So RS Floyd, if you go here and you follow the money, like look, I'm on the screen. If you click on COVID spending, right? Look at that, $3 trillion, right? All right. And then you can look, they've got object classes, they tell you who's buying the stuff. It tells you here, total spending by budget, award spending by recipient, sub-agency. So you can figure out who actually are buying the test kits. And then once you figure out who's buying the test kits, you can go back and determine who are the vendors or the contractors that are selling the test kits to the government. You can actually reach out to the government and ask them about being on one of their pre-qualified pools to provide these test kits. Or because it could be already solicited, you may have to work as a subcontractor providing them to the primes. But the bottom line is you're going to get the information that you're looking for. So for me, I always tell anyone out there, if you don't see that the government's soliciting these things, there's a couple things that could be happening. One is they've already got a pool of contractors or vendors who they pre-qualified and they've given them a blanket PO for the next whatever 2, 5, 3, 4, 5 years. And so, in fact, let me show you an example of that. How does that look? Let me go over here on the screen. I actually looked at this earlier today. I'm going to show you something. All right, Floyd, this may help you better understand it. If you've never been to this site, it's a DoD, Department of Defense, 7 million plus contracts site. And this is a list of the major contracts that the government has solicited. And so every day, every contract over $7 million gets posted here. And because I was on this site earlier today, sharing this with someone, let me show you this. And this might help you gain some perspective. Da, da, da. See, like for example, the Boeing company was awarded this contract. You see here, IDIQ. So that contract, look, the work is expected to be complete by 2031. We are in 2021. So that's a 10-year contract. So if you came to me 5 years from now and you had the best GPS block satellite constellation system, blah, 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 you understand? RS4, does that make sense? Then you would, right, not be eligible to participate in this until 2031 because they already have their vendor. And so that's kind of what happens. Now, same thing here. This contract, rapid fielding phase of airborne frequency modernization, right? This is going through 2027. So again, this contract is going to last 6 years. We're in 2021. So oftentimes, what you'll find, I got one more example to show you, which I thought was pretty crazy, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can find it for everyone's example. Come on, baby, don't disappoint me. All right, check this out, RS Floyd. Look at this contract. They awarded this $59 million contract. You see what that says? 50 years. 50 years. Look, I'm gonna make it even bigger. 50-year contract. So when you look at that and you say to yourself, what in the world? Look at that. 50-year contract. So I mean, that's just the way it works. So unfortunately, sometimes they've already made their decision. So you just want to get in where you fit in at. So all right, what else? What else do we have out there? Mike, yep, Mike sold aviation parts. All right, Carter says I saw a few large social media management contracts awarded to non-IT companies. There's a lot of social media management contracts out there going around. In fact, if you do social media management, I would consider actually talking to T-Mobile. I met with them. I met with T-Mobile, their supplier diversity person, at the Veterans and Business Conference, and she told me that they were looking for new faces, new names, new small businesses, new innovative millennials, young people to help them with their social media and their presence. So I would look at reaching out to T-Mobile's supplier diversity group specifically for social media because she told me that T-Mobile has a $3 billion budget that they spend, and they want to do as much diversity spending as possible, up to like 40%. Super nice lady. We had breakfast several times. Again, this is what I'm telling folks is that when you go to these conferences, you go to these events, there are people sitting around the breakfast table by themselves that you can get a whole wealth of information from. But because everyone wants to try to do this from home and the comfort of their house in their underwear, right behind a computer desk, it's just not going to happen for you. You got to get out from behind those desks and go start talking to people. All right, Angela, glad you enjoyed it. Um, you can sell one product, reach out the amount of transactions on DIBBS. That's correct. For those that are employed with a manufacturer, I consider the manufacturer first customer. Uh, yeah, no, Alan, I love it. If you're employed with a manufacturer, I would absolutely try to help have that manufacturer. I would definitely try to work with them in terms of, um, eh, okay, if you work for a manufacturer, and I didn't see where this came from, Alan obviously had this idea. By the way, 34 people watching, please hit the like buttons, give me a thumbs up, please, 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 please. It's been a while since I've been live, getting back to the swing of things. And as at the bottom, if you're looking about our courses, visit govconeric.com, join. That'll take you to our courses pages that will tell you about all of the different courses that we have out here that are available. So, and by the way, at the very end, look, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. That's right. At the very end, we're going to save it for last. All right. Because I have been in the Web3 space, DeFi, and so we're going to talk about blockchain as well. But we'll save it for the end. That's the fun stuff. All right. So, but yeah, going back to your question, E. Allen, if you're working with a manufacturer, right? And a lot of people are entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur means you're working for a company and they're allowing you to be an entrepreneur from within your company. So you still have the safety and security of your job, but you can help build on top of what you're doing to create more opportunities for yourself by finding things that they're not currently doing, like E. Allen's suggestion. So if you're working for a manufacturer, I would absolutely look at ways in which I can help them get government work. We had a student that successfully did that, and today he went on to create his own business, and then he went on to build that business up successfully, and they get hired by one of the largest healthcare medical supply providers in the entire country. So working with your existing company is a fantastic way to start by helping them grow in this space, asking them for a referral fee or commission or some sort of consideration for you going over and above your job and getting them into a new marketplace that is steady, consistent, and profitable as hell. So definitely, Alan, great suggestion. I love it. All right. Let's see what we got here. What's the best place to start for a new business? Establish a target market list. I understand. Thanks for training. It's important. Identify your products and access history of buys. Um, again, target market list, what we teach is the same two websites that I have up on the screen, FPDS and USA Spending. Those are the same websites that we teach for target market list. So I would start here on those two sites. And there's FPDS, there's USA Spending. We go through extensive training. In fact, I think Maria, literally, we've spent probably, in addition to the training inside of our courses, we've probably done another, I don't know, 10 sessions on this because it's just that in depth. But for those people who are not ready, who don't have the financial means to be able to go through our paid programs, this is a great place to start here. In fact, Don, I think, Maria, we did create recently a course on that. Here it is right here. $5 million buyers for your services. So we did have a course on how to create your bulletproof target market list. It's really, really extensive. Let's see. So just to give you an idea, Don, of how extensive this is, look at all the lessons in the course. So, I mean, we go through, and by the way, let me see if I can make this on a big screen just so you can see how intensive this is. Let me take you down. Hold on. All right. This video is 22 minutes. Here's our step-by-step guide. Here's our market research. This is a 64-minute video. What's capture management, bid no bid framework, finding consistent buyers. That's a 100-minute video, right? So, I mean, that's here's another 129-minute video. That's what 60. That's 2.5 hours of content. That's an hour and 45 minutes of content. That's an hour and change of content. Here's another 105 minutes. Listen, y'all should already know I don't play. When I'm gonna give you some information and you mess with me, it ain't gonna be no just anything. I'm giving you the real, like somebody can try to copy it if they want to. They're gonna have a hard time, a hard plow to plow. So look, I mean, going through FPDS, we go through different steps of it. So we do have a program specifically for that, and this will be in our 3.0 as well. But like I said, I always tell people start here, FPDS, USA Spending. Those are the best places to start for building your target market list. All right. All right. Don says the real question: how do we translate the mass amount of Excel data into find a person who actually can give us the elevator pitch? So Don, great question. By the way, 41 people. Listen. Now that we've got all these people in here, and I know I use the word "listen" a lot. Now that we have all these people in here, 39 people, please tell us who you are. Tell me the city you're calling from, and tell me the industry you're in. Please, I want 30 people to tell me their city and their industry. And if your name is not on YouTube, tell me your name. Go. And also hit the thumbs up button, please. So Don says, how do we translate all of that massive data to find a person who actually gives us the pitch? Great question, Don. I just showed you the course, but I'll tell you real quick how does it go. So what we do is we take the information in Excel. So we take this information, we pull it into what's called a pivot table. So we pull into an Excel spreadsheet, and then we sort that spreadsheet by the entity who bought, how much they bought, how many contracts they gave out, and then we take that information and we put it into a table, and then we compare it year over year. So we compare it 2017, 18, 19, or 18, 19, 20. And then from there, we extrapolate the offices who are writing the checks, right? Because you want to know who writes the checks. So we then go and find out who the office is writing the checks. From there, we then take that information, put it into the SAM database to get the office names. And once we have the office names, then that tells us who we should make our elevator pitches to. So it's a 3-pronged process. And that's what we explain in the courses in 2.0 and also in that target market list course. But yes, we put in Excel, create a pivot table. From the pivot table, put it in other tables, compare the data year over year. And then once we have the data year over year, go in SAM and translate the actual office names or office IDs into office names. And then from there, we find the buying offices, where they're located, and then we have people who we could pitch to. I know that was kind of a fast spiel, but that's what it is. I like to ask Carter, is he familiar with how to navigate around DIBBS? If so, we could connect. All right. All right. Carter says, RS Floyd, check out EPA. Check their website out. Don, if you're in 2.0, we go through all of that. All right, what's the website that covers contracts over 7 million? Here it is right here. I'll pull it back on the screen. Defense.gov. Let me put it up big. I'll drop it in the screen. I'll drop it in the chat, sorry. That's the website. Oh, my man Mo. What's up, Mo? Great meeting you today, brother. RS Floyd, glad you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like, a heart, a star, or something. Yes, Mo, good stuff today, brother. Mo's always going to be an ally. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see what we got here. Arnisha, which website gives specific data categorized by NAICS, certification, spending amounts, agencies, for example, WLSP with NAICS, which agencies contract for this, the amount, etc. So there is no website that gives you specific data categorized by NAICS certifications and amounts. The best site that I say that could give you all the information that you're looking for, you'd have to pull that from FPDS and pull it into a pivot table. That would be the best site to use right here, FPDS. Because from there you can actually pull out. You can pull out the spending amount. You can pull out the office. It's not exactly what I know what you're talking about, but it doesn't come out exactly what you say. So it'll give you the NAICS codes. It'll give you the spending amount. It'll give you the office ID, which translates to a government agency or sub-agency. And then in terms of certifications, it will let you know how it was awarded. So it'll tell you if, in fact, if it was awarded to one of the socioeconomic categories. But I think you have a different question, just what I think. Like market research for government contracts. Yeah, this is a website right here, Arnisha. That's the site. What's the best route to take when you don't actually have a product to sell? I think this guy right here can help you answer that question right there. Mo can answer that question. When you don't have a product to sell, Yusuf, there's several things that I recommend to people out here. First and foremost, I tell people, talk to your friends, talk to your immediate circle, let people know that you're learning about government contracting. You'd be surprised how many companies and entities want to get into this space and don't know how, Yusuf. And so there's people out here that want to get into the space. And if you've got more time than money, they'll definitely bring you on. They probably got more money than time. And so that combination makes really compelling argument for people to allow someone like yourself to utilize their business, even as a guinea pig, right? Because they've got nothing to lose if you go out and find them contracts. What do they got to lose? And if you don't succeed, they still got nothing to lose. So I always recommend talking to friends, family, and fools, people in your network, letting them know that you're interested in the space. And you'll be surprised how many people will recommend folks for you to use their businesses that are established, 10-year, 15-year businesses. Maybe they've been muddling around at $2, $3, $4, $5 million, and find that business who's willing to give you a shot to take them into this marketplace. That's what I would do. As a call center owner, I would like to subcontract with T-Mobile. So again, I don't know if T-Mobile is looking for call center owners, but the representative for T-Mobile's the supplier diversity is incredibly friendly, incredibly nice, super humble lady, woman. I would definitely try to hitch myself to her if I were you, because they are actively looking for minority participation, which includes women. Doesn't matter if you're white, black, whatever color. They're looking for minority participation, which includes veterans. Again, doesn't matter your color. So minority is a broad swath that covers pretty much everybody. To be honest with you, because there's no group that's really excluded from that, except if you're rich and wealthy. So if you're not rich and you're not wealthy already, then you pretty much can just fall into the minority category at this point. And so T-Mobile, the lady who's championing for the supply diversity, is super friendly, super nice. I'd go to their website and see if I could try to connect with her, just based on my recommendation. That's what I would recommend. Let me see if I can pull it up. Dun, dun, dun. Keep them cold, keep them coming, or just keep them coming. Now, so what's interesting is that you see when you come onto their website, right? Now you got to go through all this junk. And so look, I don't see no contact information. I don't see no name. I don't see nothing, right? Register in their supplier clearinghouse, supplier registration process. You see, I was at breakfast with her every day. I was at dinner with her. We had conversations. We were able to talk after hours. We were able to talk because why? I went to the event where they were at. Now, if you try to go through this garbage, I don't know who you're going to get. This is not easy. Um, and so this is where a lot of us get stuck, right? Because we got Eric. Well, I put my information in here. I don't know because I don't know if this thing's going to computer. I don't know what this thing is going to. So that's why I tell people to get out and meet folks because unfortunately, at this point, I don't even know how this website's going to help you. Um, and as nice as the lady was or is, this is the way that these big companies operate. And this is the way that they have this whole process. But if you had been at the event, at the conference where they were at, you could have sat down with her and shot the breeze. And then she would have told you about, her life and her husband and everything else and made a real relationship, made real connection with that person. And you could be talking about contract opportunities right now. So unfortunately, a lot of us, we don't take the time to do that because we believe that we can achieve success and experience super comfort and not leave our homes. And unfortunately, it's just not the reality of it. On DIBBS, you can become a verified manufacturer and a DIBBS manufacturer vendor list. Look at cars spreading some news. Manufacturers for coming assist with grants and funding, but I'd rather have a contract opportunity if it's smaller, short-term stuff. Yeah. I wouldn't go for that okey doke for the grant stuff. That's short-lived. I agree with you. Look, build up your reputation, get a contract, show that you can produce. They've got $3 billion in contracts. It's much more secure path of actually earning your keep instead of trying to look for a handout. I agree with you, Arnisha. What else? What else, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who's here? Who's in the building? 38 people here. What do you guys do? Everybody out here, look, what do you guys do for a living? Happy holidays. We got holidays coming up, Christmas coming up, New Year's Eve coming up. T from Atlanta. How long should it take to get your first award in construction with no previous awards but 20 years experience? Well, that's a loaded question, T. Um, you know, if you've got no experience, well, so when you say experience, you have experience. I'm going to assume a couple things based on what you wrote. I'm going to assume you have experience in construction, but you don't have experience in government. And so The other thing I'm going to assume is that you're talking about any type of government contract and not specifically federal. So those are two assumptions I'm making based on that. So when I answer the question, it's based on the assumption that you have experience doing the work, but not experience in doing government contracts. And then my second assumption is that you are looking for contracts across the board. So remember, state, local, federal is different. Um, I've never been really successful at state contracts. I've done successfully local contracts and extremely well at federal procurement. Uh, the local contracts, you could probably get a local contract in months because there's a lot of construction going on in every city USA, and they're always looking for vendors. So if you're looking at the local level, you can probably get a contract in months. The challenge will be it's a low bid situation, and oftentimes you have to check where you're at because you're in Atlanta. But I would still, Atlanta's a big place, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily work in Atlanta. They say Atlanta because we know the name, but they work in the outskirts of other parts of Georgia that's around Atlanta. And so your local municipality, you want to just make sure that they pay their vendors on time, or what's the time frame in which they pay them, 30, 60, 90 days, because you want to know that that's important to you. But I do believe that any local municipality, you could successfully register and win a construction contract in probably 1 or 2 months because they bid them all the time. And if you were looking at Atlanta, like most municipalities, has probably parks division. They've got a sewer division. They've got public housing division. They have community action division. So those are four divisions within the municipalities that all give out construction contracts. And so if you were to register for, say, Atlanta and then register across all four of those divisions, there's bids every single week. And so it would not be out of the ordinary to win something in a month, but you've got to be competitive at that level. If you come onto my world, which is the federal world, that's probably not going to happen because it's going to take you, several months to even figure out who's buying your services. So even though our contracts are going to be much more lucrative long term, um, it's going to take a little bit longer. So on the federal level, without any training and mentorship, I would say probably maybe a year, 18 months. Um, if you had training and mentorship coupled with your experience, we'd have to look at your background, right? Because you got to make sure you got your bonding. We got to make sure you've got your past performance that checks all the boxes. With that, you could probably do it in 6 months. I know that was loaded, but I hope it answered your question. Good evening. I'm a woman-owned exterior cleaning business with low pressure, soft washing residential commercial. I want to get an introduction to cleaning these government buildings. Yeah, um, I've seen a lot of source of thoughts for that kind of stuff for pressure washing. A lot of that stuff doesn't go out for bid, believe it or not. So you're going to have to look for source of thought, and you're going to have to actually go directly to the customer who's actually buying those things. So again, everyone out here, I always tell people start with your research, start with your market research, start here at FPDS, figure out pressure washing, figure out who's buying pressure washing, what are the codes for pressure washing, and then go backwards. Find out the people who are spending the money in those areas, look them up, find out their offices, give them a call, let them know that's what you do. Show up to the conferences where they're at, show up to the meetings where they're at, and start shaking hands and kissing babies. It's funny because one of my favorite quotes from Jim Rohn says, "What's easy to do is also easy not to do." And so I always think of that because it seems so simple, but no one does it. Maria reminded me of that when she was at her conference this past week. It's so easy to go to a conference or an event, but so many people don't do it. Interesting, right? All right. Eric, on the subject of using your employer as your first customer, what would be the conversation to have with whom to talk to and the company to start with? So for me, what I would do, Alan, before I talk to my employer about using them as a customer, I would do my homework, do my research. I put together a little bit of a presentation, nothing elaborate, just maybe 4 or 5 slides. and say, hey, like you went to FPDS and you typed in the code, you figure out how many opportunities there were. By the way, 38 people hit the like button, please hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. What I would do is I would do my research right here on FPDS. Okay, hold on, wait. Oh, there it is. I figured it out. Okay, so I would go here and do my research, pull up and say there's this much spending in our category, right? So I do like a macro overview of how much money the government spends buying our services. I would pull down like here are the top vendors who provide the services because you could pull out it up. Look, I'll do a real quick example for you, E. Allen. Let me show you. This is what I would do real quick. All right, 236220, my favorite NAICS code. So here, you can get the top 10 agencies. You can get the top 10 companies, right? So now you got two slides. You got top 10 agencies, top 10 companies. Um, Here it tells you as of 2021 how many contract actions there were. 97. What does that say? 974,000. If you want to narrow it down to 2021, 49,000, right? And then here are the top 10 agencies, top 10 companies, and then 43. So now you got three slides. So what I would say is, okay, so Mrs. So now that's your three slides, right? So top 10 agencies, top 10 companies, and the number of contract actions in 2021. And I would say, hey, this is our opportunity. Now, with this opportunity, we do blah, 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 XYZ. This is the people that we're up against. And I think that with some training and mentorship, that I can help our company grow by, I don't know what you're doing now, sales, whatever, 5-10%, if we were to actively, strategically pursue this marketplace. By the way, you've got someone and Mo will tell you this. Mo did the same thing. Mo, are you still on here? Mo, are you still on here? By the way, E. Allen, Mo, who was on here earlier, did the same thing. His boss paid for the course, my course, for him to go after these contracts. Well, guess what? Mo became so successful at it that his boss started fighting with him about the commissions because they grew so big. But it set him up to be able to go out on his own because he was doing so well that it worked too good. So, E. Allen, what I would do is say, hey, the number of actions, agencies, companies, and we have a training program that we can sign me up and I can learn how to do this so we can increase 5, 10, 15% our business. And that's the way I would approach it. That's right, baby. Antoine, happy holidays to everyone out here. My man, Antoine, ATS Dynamics, still narrow down my niche, consulting, accounting, finance, IT staffing. All right. You got to narrow it down, baby. You got to narrow it down. Got to narrow it down. Look at Carr says, watching training videos on YouTube. That's how I learn. George, I love public contracting. Me too. So do I. Leonard Garcia, healthcare, Miami, Benvenidos. What else we got? Who else? My name is Chaz from Detroit. I want to get a consultant. Currently got a client trucking industry from Detroit. Sweet. Make sure you hook up with my friend, One Girl, One Truck. We got a Slack channel for truckers, and when you join up for the course. By the way, our 3.0 course should be released by January. So stay on the lookout for 3.0 bundle course. Will be coming out January. Stay on the lookout. Dark Towns in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, human resources, reentry provider, individuals going through hardship, etc., getting released back into the community. Good stuff. You remind me of Brewster. Brewster is always on Truck and Hustle podcast. From the streets to the suites is his motto. Charlotte, North Carolina in the house. Welcome. Get out there, shake some hands, make relationships, kiss the babies. When can you call? When can you call what, Carter? Talk to me. All right, here's a question. By the way, make sure you give me a thumbs up if you haven't already hit the thumbs up button. Maria, how many likes do we have? How many thumbs up do we have so far? We've got actively 39 people watching. Happy holidays, folks. It's almost Christmas. Yeah. All right. Nobody coming to my backdrop. I spent a lot of time and effort making all this background for you guys. Y'all don't even say nothing. Like I did all this stuff back here. I got Martha Stewart look-alike in the background, and nobody even said nothing. Noel over here. I got Joy down below, and nobody even look, look. I even got SpaceX, Elon Musk, look, taking off in the rocket for y'all. Look, see there? Who's going to space next? Who wants to go to space? I'm not going to Mars, but I would definitely support any one of you guys who wants to go to Mars. All right. Let's get to Jessica's question. What would you suggest? A trucking company also provides a lot of dispatching and training, but looking to break down the government contracts. Um, Dispatching and training. See, I don't know if the government actually does, if they buy training for trucking. Um, but in terms of if you do dispatching, I definitely know. I'll be honest with you, Jessica. I'm not a fan of local contracts. Um, the federal arena has so much stuff that if you provide dispatching, that sounds like to me, and again, I'm not in trucking, sounds like to me you would have access to a lot of truckers because you're a dispatcher. That would mean you talk to a lot of truckers and truck companies, which means that you have a pool of potential already like candidates. If you were to get a big opportunity to say have to send 20 loads or 50 loads to a certain area because you're a dispatcher, I'm assuming that you have access to the people who can help fulfill those orders. So for me, I would learn the federal game right now in my free time so I could figure out, right, how do you, Jessica McQueen, become registered as maybe a FEMA dealer so that you can then pre-qualify your company and then when they have like a disaster, like what happened in Kentucky, and they got to send, 50 truckloads of water, 50 truckloads of materials down there, they then reach out to you. And because you're a dispatcher with all these connections, you can then reach out to your supplier base and mobilize the team. Um, Most people don't have that ability because they're a one-man truck entity. So they don't. So what I found is the area where a lot of people have like I hate to say lack, but if you are like a one or two person trucking company, then really your only opportunities are to be a subcontractor. So you have to work for someone like a Crowley. But if you have access to a database of truckers that can fulfill a 20 or 30 or 40 truckload run within 24 hours, then that makes you extremely valuable. Hope that helps. Are there any vaccine max data to be qualified for government contract if I'm looking at only supply products? Yeah, Charles, they pushed the date for the vaccine mandates. They pushed it back till next year. So they keep pushing it back. It was like November, then it was December. Now it's I don't know if it's January or February, but they pushed it back to next year as of now. And if you're only supplying products, then no, obviously the mandates don't apply because you're just taking products to deliver. Does the local SBA provide training with navigating these procurement sites? The SBA themselves do not provide training, no. But the SBA has organizations like Small Business Development Centers, SBDCs, that provide training. The SBA, what they do is they pay other entities to provide training to small businesses like yourself. So the SBA themselves, um, they give out money to, QI. What I would look at, let me pull up on the screen for you. Hold on. So you can look here, QI, and here, America's SBDC. And so the SBDCs, they have one in your local town, and they do provide training. So you can go here and the SBDCs and find one, and they do provide training for small businesses. So that's a great place to start, and it's free of charge. In fact, I've spoken at like 3 or 4 of these events on behalf. The SBDCs go and get people like me that are the experts to come in and teach their classes. So it's a great resource to give you a good start for if you want to enhance your learning. This is a great resource for everybody out there. Good question, QI. All right, no problem. You're welcome. All right, show me some love. Give me a thumbs up. Send me $5. What you guys got going on? Uh, what's the best resource or way to find out about local networking events? Um, Sam.gov actually posts networking events. Also, what I would recommend is, by the way, this is an excellent question. So, Beauty and the Beast, what I recommend is when you find the agency, a sub agency that's buying your services, then you want to look for events that they actually attend. So I don't always promote going to every event. Um, I would go to the events where the people who are buying my services are going to be at. And so sam.gov publishes it, but also there's a website called govt.com, and they publish a lot of government contracting events as well. So this website, govevents.com, they publish a lot of the government contracting events as well. But I don't want you to go to every event because you could spend a lot of money and waste a lot of time just attending random events. So I want to make sure that we're doing right by you. And I want you to actually find out who is buying your services first, and then find out what event they're going to be at. And then that's the event I want you to go to. If you are in construction, SAMI, Society of American Military Engineers, is the best place for you to be at. Your local SAMI chapter is where you need to be. If you're in cyber, there's other groups that specifically focus on cyber. If you're in trucking, there's groups that focus on trucking. Every industry, every sector, trade has their own conferences, has their own events where the buyers for their goods and services will be at. So don't think because it's close to your house in proximity, you're going to get your bang for your buck. Make sure that you're going to where the people, the buyers that buy your specific services are going to be in attendance so you can get the maximum dollars, because this is a lot of energy. And like some of my students said, it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy to go to these events and money, and you want to make sure you maximize your resources. So that's what I would say. By the way, if you haven't been to our new page, make sure to visit us here at govconedu.courses. Visit our course page on all the courses and offerings we have. We just released a private inner circle program called PAL. Make sure to check it out. For you, all of those people who are wanting beyond the training, who already have experience, who are already doing business and contracts, and you're ready to do deals, look at our program. PAL is the name. It's my inner circle program where you're working directly with me, right? So you're going to get my cell phone number. You can call me. Stands for Partnerships, Access, Lifeline. So if you get into a trouble with a contract, and let's say you need to renegotiate the terms, let's say you're having problems with submittals or paperwork or compliance issues, you're going to get access to me and my team, and we're going to help you solve those problems. So it's much more, it's closer to me, and so that we can actually help people go to that next level. Yes, there is a price tag to pay because that's just the way it works. But if you're already active and you're doing business and you want more than just a course, and you really believe that, hey, Eric, I'm ready to take my business to the next level, consider the program PAL. It's on our website, govconedu.com/courses. Also, you can visit the link below, govconeric.com, join. That'll take you to this page. Click on PAL and it'll explain all of what the program's about, what we do, who we're looking for, the kind of people we want to work with. And right now, the price that we have on there is for the first 25 participants. So that's what it is. But what else do we have on the chat today? Talk to me. What else you guys got going on out there in the world? Who else can I help today? Thank you for the question, by the way. My man, Jared, happy holidays to you, Jared. I just sent you an email today. All right, Marie, we got 38 likes, 44 people watching, 38 likes. Get my likes up. Look, she said, I just know. Really? You just noticed it? So what you like? You just focus here, like on my face and my dolphin shirt. Was it my dolphin shirt that overwhelmed you? That like you didn't even notice all the ornaments? That is so messed up. But thank you for being honest, because everybody else was quiet. They didn't even say nothing. I still love you. Kevin Smith, I'm a real estate fixing flipper here in Miami. Do I have an avenue government contracting? Um, there's no fixing and flipping in the government contracting space. There is renovation and remodeling. So yeah, you can definitely, if you're a fix it and flipper in Miami, that means you have experience of working with subcontractors, good, bad, and you know the other. So you actually could take and translate those skills, those subcontractors, um, into your labor force for doing government contracts. So really, you could get into doing small renovation projects. That's what Maria is specialty. Maria loves those small renovation projects. She eats them up. She does very well at them. They're very lucrative, and so she does a lot of them. Kevin, in fact, if you Kevin, since you're in Miami, if you going across the bridge to South Beach and you pass Star Island on your left and Fisher Island on your right, that bridge to go over to South Beach, I think it's 395 on the right hand side, right before you get to Fisher Island. If you turn right in that little space, sometimes there's a light there, and then people go to the boats to the right. And there's the Coast Guard base. That's where Maria does all of her contracts at that Coast Guard base. All of her little renovation projects are there. So if you got a good base of contractors, Maria would love to talk to you, Kevin. Reach out to her. Somebody said, I was going to ask, where were the books when I first came on, but I was driving? Yes, I took down the books for the holiday season. So we took down the books and we changed it up, and we're spreading some holiday cheer. That way, when you go back and people are looking at this video, you'll know what season it was. So, Maria, when can we call Eric Coffie? Yeah, right. Not happening. We do sell coaching sessions. So if you want to get on a 30-minute call with me, also on the website, we do now have coaching sessions. So if you do want to speak to me, we do have coaching sessions on our website. So we have executive coaching. Here, I'll pull it back up on the screen. So we have executive coaching and a GovCon coach. So if you want to speak to me, that's the best way to do it. Thank you, Antoine. I appreciate you. Somebody, man. Jeez, I mean, jeez, Antoine. Somebody give me some props for trying, I'm really trying. Yes, FEMA has a vendors list. Correct. But Carr is right. You better be ready in case they request you have many trucks to hit the road. That is correct. We have people that happened to them. And so when it happened, they weren't ready and they couldn't capitalize. They couldn't actually make it do what it do. So Arnisha, I'm not a fan of SCORE. But yeah, I talk about all those resources in my book. I don't even know where my book is at. Do I have my book here? Nope. My books are put up. Yeah, SCORE is a resource. I'm not a fan of them, but they are available for people to try. Listen, try everything. See what sticks. Go to all the free resources. Go to all the places. Learn all you can. Be a sponge, right? Gil said, I just got here. Well, welcome, Gil. Let us know what you do. What's your industry? What's your space? Tell us who you are. How are we going to help you out? You don't tell us who you are. I'm a construction kid and say it again. Maria said it right here, sammy.org. If you're in construction, this is the group you want to join for Federal Arena. If you're in construction, this is who you want to join. sammy.org. They are all over the country. They are helping to facilitate contracts for construction people all over the country. You're going to meet wherever city you're in, USA. If you're in construction, you join this organization, you go to their event, you're going to meet you don't even have to do no research. Just show up to their event, and all of the people who are giving out construction contracts for the federal government will be there. I promise you. Here by the NASA Space Center, we used to have monthly luncheons. So we go to a place and we eat lunch every month at this Sammy org. Every month we go there. And when you pay your money, you get to go every month. And the whole room is full of contracting people engineers, program managers who are actively working on tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of contracts. And you sit there and you have lunch with them. And you can tell them all about your business and tell them who you are. It's a great forum to meet outside of the base, outside of the military installation, and have an open conversation to be able to because they want industry talking with government. Unfortunately, in the office, it's a little bit harder to do. So they come out and we have lunch every month, and industry gets to talk to government. You can tell them who you are. When you first sign up, you get one time to actually pitch your company in front of the whole group. So we sign up, paid our fees, which were cheap. I think it's $500 a year. Super cheap. Maybe it's $300 a year. And you get a chance to pitch your company in front of the whole audience and say, hey, this is, MJ Global. I'm a construction contractor, blah, 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 blah. And they all get to hear your story. So definitely for construction, that's the way to go. Eric, do you have a consulting agreement template for me to use? Absolutely, we have consulting agreement templates. Of course we do. I'm an 8A graduate who wants to assist other new 8A firms. Alan Turner, you're 8A graduate. I'd love to talk to you. Reach out to Maria, reach out to my staff. Let's talk about, I would love to talk about your experience in the 8A program. So definitely reach out to my staff, reach out to my team, call us, email us as well. No. Arnisha keeps dropping all the names. PTAC, that's another resource that's available. If I'm going to tell you guys a little secret, PTAC, sometimes if you're not been in business for 2 years, they don't want to see you. So make sure you lie. Secret given away. That's all I gotta say. Don't go to PTAC and say you've been in business for 6 months or 1 year because they may not see you. I'm just telling you from words of wisdom. If you go to PTAC and you've been in business less than 2 years, lie, because they won't help you sometimes. That's just their policy. So just be like, look, I don't care if it's your grandma business, your TT business, somebody else, just be like, yeah, we've been in business 5 years and call it a day. Don't worry about it. They're paid by the government. So I don't even know why they should be turning away anybody in the first place. But I've heard from students, my PTAC didn't help me because they said I was a new business and they only help businesses who have been in business for a while. It's a BS policy. It should be thrown out with the garbage, but unfortunately it exists. So before you get there and you get heartbroken and the lady say, how long have you been in business? 2 years. I don't care if it's been 2 months, 2 years. And if your son biz don't show 2 years, tell them that's because you reincorporate on a different name because you changed from what you used to do. Look, y'all know how to lie. So don't act like y'all don't. Now all of a sudden y'all brand new. What else? Any news on latest disbursement on USDA money to school lunches just announced? That's not what we do here. Sorry. It's not what we do. We teach about winning contracts and opportunities. Quick question. I'm having trouble with Sam. I'm stuck. I can't move forward because of my virtual office status. Any suggestions? You got to get a lease. You got to get a lease on that. That's my suggestion. Maria knows more about that than I do. but some kind of way you have to get a lease agreement from somewhere to be able to get past that particular section. So, you know, I'm not really sure why people set up virtual offices and not just use their home address as an office. Um, I haven't figured that out. I would love to LaDon, if you want to educate me on why people use virtual offices, not just their home address. Most people I know just use your home address, and that meets the requirement. Um, and I guess if you don't want to publish your home address, then that makes sense. Um, but maybe like I don't know. I'm not really sure. Other than uh, find there are okay. There are places that you can go to buy those mailboxes where you can get a lease at, and they're like, I don't know, $200 a year or something like that. That might be your suggestion. That might be your alternative if you don't want to use your home address. Is like not WeWork, but the equivalent of a WeWork where you buy like the mailbox. So that it's not a PO box. It's actually like a mailbox, but then they give you a lease to a building that you can use to create an address. That's what I would do. If you didn't want to use your home address, which obviously you don't. Is it possible for two companies to split the course of course still have full access, full rights? Sure, Yusuf, you can split the cost of the course. We don't care how you pay for it. But we don't split it up for you. So yes, you could do it. And you both could have the same, have your, have the username and password that you share. We just don't split it up for you. Thank you, Amlisette. USDA announced 1 billion school lunches. Yeah, we don't. Again, we only look at contracts. So them giving school lunches, I'm not sure how that ties in. But thank you for your comment on my festive backdrop. Thank you. Because nobody else is over here commenting on my little spaceship backdrop. 45 people watching. Make sure you hit the like button, please. Even if you like it from my little SpaceX space guy. Or whoever else is going to space. I'm curious who wants to go to space. Yes, PTAC can deter you. Be careful. They can deter you. So do not be discouraged. Listen, everyone out here, please, 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 please do me a favor. The one lesson that I learned a long time ago was for stay interested. So I want people to always, what in the world? He looks like he got eyes on his butt. Can you see that? I was told a long time ago to stay interested. And I want to encourage all of you the same thing, to stay interested. Don't give up. Don't let PTAC discourage you. Don't let SCORE discourage you. Don't let any of these people discourage you, okay? Because this is a real marketplace. I'm actually getting into venture capital. We're going to start buying companies, owning equity in companies, and taking into this government contracting space. So I'm going to actually get more heavily involved and start owning multiple types of businesses that I help get into the federal space. I just want folks to know that they don't discriminate. They do not discriminate. They don't care what color you are. They don't care your sexual orientation, your sexual preference. They don't care nothing about that stuff. Can you deliver their goods? That's all they care about. This is the best opportunity for all of us out here, short and tall. I don't care if you're brown, black, white. Doesn't matter. This is our time. This is our time. So listen, figure this thing out. Don't go away. Don't give up. Don't quit on yourself. Stay interested. I don't care what your family, your friends say. This thing makes real money. Trust me. This thing makes a lot of money for a lot of people. Everyone that I know, in fact, that person who graduated 8A, I'm sure they can tell you this where they're at. That person, what's his name? Alan Turner. This guy right here, I'm sure you guys ask Alan Turner how much money there is out here. I'm sure this person, Alan Turner, can tell you the type of money that folks are making. I've got a buddy of mine. He's getting ready to do $1 billion contract, 1 billion with a B. That's right. I got another friend of mine that sold his company for excess of $30 million. So this is real, folks. This is not play stuff. This ain't flipping watches. This ain't none of that old fake, get rich quick stuff. This is long-term sustainable. Everyone should know the government just passed. How much was the defense bill that they just passed? Forget about the stimulus. Forget about the Build Back Better plan. They just passed $768 billion for the Department of Defense budget. $768 billion. Every company in America that's a $1 trillion company is fighting over the same money for government contracts. That includes SpaceX, that includes Google, that includes Oracle, that includes Amazon, that includes Microsoft. So all these $1 trillion companies are fighting over this money. That's how lucrative this is. And it's available for you and me also. All right, let's take some more questions. I'm going to get off this horn. Stop running my mouth. Josh, what's going on, Josh? Supply portable restrooms and hand washing stations. And other miscellaneous rental equipment. I've 22, won my first 2 contracts this year. Woo! Look, my man Josh says he's 22, won his first 2 contracts this year. Resources. Josh, we got a lot of resources for you, man. We got a ton of resources. I don't even know where to start. Like, what do you want? What are you looking for? We got books, we got courses. I can send you to websites. First thing first, like Maria said, I would hey, start here with my books. Building on a playbook, GovCon launch. What else you looking for, Josh? By the way, big congratulations. Everybody, listen, everybody in the chat, give my man Josh, clap it up for my man Josh. 22 years old, winning his first 2 contracts. So look, if Josh could do it, I already know some of y'all are twice Josh's age. So I don't want to hear no excuses. Man, Josh did it. Josh, let us know. Everybody give Josh a big round up. Give Josh a big ups in this thing. Yes. So Josh, I'm not sure what kind of resource you need outside of what we already talked about. If you be more specific, that would be great. Hey, I'm sorry, man, it does not allow me to be live, so I didn't quite understand what's on, but I like to say I appreciate your work efforts and word encouragement. You and your team rock. Thank you, Gills Patrick. I appreciate you. Change your DUNS address to your home address and then have it updated, Sam. That's the fix. That's what I would recommend doing. Oh, there you go. Co-working space membership. That's all you need. No. We never said UPS address. We never said that. We didn't say that. We said this is the answer right here. The co-working space membership. I'm saying it's the equivalent of a UPS address. That's correct. Right. A building that leases out spaces to the mailbox of the actual building. I don't see that there's opportunities for notaries. No, I've never found that there's opportunities for notaries. No. Yep. I would stay away from Unison. Definitely not a place to be. The Vinci Oculus Alliance or other options for virtual offices. You have to Google to make sure it's not UPS location, but home addresses work too. There you go. Look at all the people helping spread the word, trying to help you get past that little hurdle. All right, Alan Turner, area that's 16 million in 6 years in 8A, 2006. Alan Turner Searchwich Inc., Cherry Hill, New Jersey, became a member of 4 other new 8As here in New Jersey. Woo! By the way, Alan Turner, my best friend lives in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So I know that area. I fly into Philly all the time. He picks me up from Philly. It's closer to Cherry Hill than the New Jersey airport. So I love it. Look at my man, Alan. 16 million in 6 years. All right. Yeah, I know the area very well. Cherry Hill. My best friend lives there. Look at that. Eric Coffie, used to 8 billion questions. Actually, why I'm on your live today, also supplying food to schools is lucrative. So Carter, the question that you're asking is a lot different than the question that this person was asking. So if there's a contract to supply food to schools, that's a different question because the question they asked was about free lunches. So if they're looking to supply food to schools, that's a different kind of question, Carter, than free lunch question. Does that make sense? I was confused because most of the time people asking for free lunch program, it's like they're looking for a grant as opposed to a contract. So that's a whole different thing. I'll look into it so I can answer that next time. All right, Josh says, wow, won them from watching your videos. I love it. I love it. Josh, you know what I like? That's why I like the young people, right? Because the young kids, they don't even care. They be like, look, I'm talking to these older people, right? Like from the FBI and stuff, and they're posting, they're saying we want young people to come into this contracting space, and we want them to come into the space, and they're having private meetings. You got to have a top secret clearance to find out about their opportunities. How the hell are you making this open, accessible to everyone if you're not on the places where the young people are at? So a young person is not going to find you in a private top secret clearance FBI event. No one's going to find you there. You guys got to go where people are at. TikTok, IG, right? YouTube. That's where people are learning their skills these days. And I like young people because they're not afraid to try something. Like, wait, this guy said it'll work. Hell, I'll try it. So there you go. He tried it. I love it. I love it. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, go to our website, Josh. That's down below on the ticker, and visit and look for our courses and sign up. I'd love to work with you guys. Josh, you and your team. We had, in fact, Jared's on here. Jared's 24. He won his first contract this past year as well. So we got 24-year-old, 22-year-old Mebs was 24 years old. He won his first contracts. 48 people watching. Make sure to give us a thumbs up. Hit the like button. And by the way, my man Josh won his first contract, 22 years old. I'm going to pin his thing to the top. How do I? There we go. I'm putting Josh up top for you guys to see it. For all the new people coming in. All right. Eric, you mentioned buying existing business. Believe it or not, I'm currently in that space. I'm looking to buy my first existing business in manufacturing industry. All right. LaDon, good luck. Looking forward to you getting set up. All right. Alan Turner, Josh wants to connect with you. Why stay away from Unison Marketplace? I've never used it. Because Unison Marketplace is it's the places where dreams go to die, and they die fast. The Unison Marketplace is not a reflection of government contracting. In fact, it's total opposite of everything that we do in the federal procurement space. So if you go there and you think that this is a reflection of what it is that I teach and what I do, then you're going to be heartbroken and you're going to be discouraged, because we teach you how to build relationships, how to connect with people. And so in a Unison Marketplace, it's just a bid site, right? So it's just the lowest bidder, the cheapest bidder, they're going to get the job. And a lot of times, which I have a student of mine right now fighting with a contracting officer over at Unison Marketplace. Unfortunately, what happens is that the government they don't even write the contracts properly. So sometimes they'll solicit a contract as a product, but then it's actually construction. And because they're looking for the cheap bidders, they don't care about that. Well, that matters to you when you get involved in the actual work and you're trying to do work. It's hard to do a construction contract for when you're trying to offer a product. And I know it doesn't make sense to you today, but our business is built on relationships and value, and Unison Marketplace is the opposite of that. So it makes it unlike any 99.999% of what we do here is totally opposite of Unison Marketplace. So I just don't want you to go out there and get heartbroken and figure out how many times you keep trying to bid and price things unsuccessfully and say, I give up on government contracting. That's why, Ty. All right. Carr says, I've seen this agency purchase notary services. I don't know. Josh is over 200K over the next 3 to 5 years. Sent some more bits out today, working on a certain DBE on-site review tomorrow. Josh, I want you to get there. Let's do it. I want Josh to get there. 22 years old, doing 200K. That's what I'm talking about. Maria says, Josh, reach out to her. She wants to talk to you about featuring you on a Making a Giants podcast. All right. So you guys connect with Maria. Mike V, first meeting. Wow. My man Alice says, I'm in Laurel, New Jersey, neighbor's office. All right. Look, your friend may know me. I'm from here. I have DSV is myself. Kelly Turner Group, a new 88 firm, both GC companies. All right. Yeah, my friend, he works for Accenture. So he doesn't know government contracting people. He works for Accenture, and so he doesn't know the space and he doesn't know the people, so he wouldn't know you. But definitely, Alan, make sure you connect with Maria, give her your information, and see how we can work together, helping you to help mentor some people in the 8A program. That'd be great. Josh, make sure to reach out to Maria as well to feature on her podcast. Thank you, everyone, for coming on tonight. Visit our website and all of our resources that we have available over here at govconedu.com courses, or at the bottom of our ticker link. Thanks very much for coming on this live session. Looking forward to doing more live sessions with all of you starting at the beginning of the year. I may pump one more out next week. Not sure yet, but definitely considering that. So thank you guys. Yes, we do help people market research. We do have courses on market research. This is one of our courses on market research right here. Where's it at? I showed it earlier today. This particular course right here is specifically about market research, finding million-dollar buyers, creating your bulletproof target market list, which federal agency buys your services. We've probably have, if you look at it, 22 minutes, 64 minutes, 100 minutes, 129. So this is probably, I don't know, 400 minutes. What is that? This is probably a good 6-7 hours, maybe 8 hours. Nope. Come down here. Look, 46. So this is probably 8 hours of information on doing market research. And if you wait for our 3.0 course bundle, again, it depends on where where you're at in terms of which affordability. But yes, we do it. We teach it. We coach it, and that's what we do. So, look, thank you so much. If you have not already, I promise you, we were going to talk about this at the very end. I promise you guys. This article came out from Bloomberg. Crypto adding $1.5 trillion in value. I would encourage you, while you're out drinking over the holidays, look into the marketplace. Start to figure this stuff out. This is going to tie into government contracting. I'm going to start connecting some of the dots next year on blockchain. So I've been deep diving and Web 3.0 and crypto and also DeFi. So the blockchain and their solutions is going to really upend government contracting. The people that are writing, and if you know about crypto and you know how they have these smart contracts, the things that are powering these tokens, some of the best programmers in the world, some of the best hackers in the world. So we're going to need these kind of people writing smart contracts for our government coming up. I know it's over a lot of people's heads, but definitely do some research and digging around, listen to some podcasts on this subject. Thank you so much, everyone. I enjoyed the time tonight. I'll see you next time.